Welcome to the session on trigonometric ratios, graphs of sine, cosine and tangent. The objectives for this session are to sketch the graphs of sine, cosine and tangent functions. The graphs of sine, cosine and tangent are periodic. This means they repeat themselves after a certain interval. We are going to learn how to draw these three types of graphs for a given range of angles. Let's first have a look at the sine curve. The graph of y equals sine theta looks something like this. It repeats every 360 degrees and crosses the x-axis every 180 degrees. So for example, at minus 180 degrees, at 0, at 180 degrees, at 360 degrees, and so on. The maximum of the sine curve is at 1 and the minimum is at minus 1. Now let's take a look at the cosine curve. The graph of y equals cos theta looks something like this. It also repeats every 360 degrees, but crosses the x-axis at, for example, minus 270 degrees, minus 90 degrees, 90 degrees, and so on. So every 180 degrees. The maximum of the cosine curve is also 1, and the minimum is also minus 1. And now for the tan curve. The graph of y equals tan theta looks something like this. It repeats every 180 degrees and crosses the x-axis at, for example, minus 180 degrees, 0 degrees, 180 degrees, and so on. So every 180 degrees. It has no maximum and no minimum. Instead, it has asymptotes or is undefined when x equals, for example, minus 270 degrees, minus 90 degrees, 90 degrees, and so on. Let's now take a look at an example. Pause the video and have a go. Press play when you're ready to view the solutions. So let's solve example 1a. Sketch the graph of y equals sine theta in the interval minus 360 degrees is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 360 degrees. This should look something like the graph you can see on your screen now. What about example 1b? You're required to sketch the graph of y equals cos x in the interval minus 180 degrees to 270 degrees. This looks something like this. Now if cos 60 degrees equals 0.5, then using the graph find one other value of x for which cos x equals 0.5. Here we've sketched the graph or the line of y equals 0.5. As you can see, it cuts the graph of cos x twice in this diagram. Once at 60 degrees and once at minus 60 degrees. So cos of minus 60 degrees is equal to 0.5. This brings us to the end of this session. If you have understood its contents, you should be able to sketch the graphs of sine, cosine, and tangent functions. Thank you very much for listening. To understand this topic in greater depth, do attempt the exercises in your textbook related to this topic.